When Claire finally broke down in couples therapy, the counselor handed her tissues and billed her double for extra emotional labor. She did not see the invoice until 2 weeks later, sitting at her kitchen table with a stack of insurance statements. The charge read high conflict patient care. Her husband, Michael, leaned against the counter with his coffee and said nothing. He'd been saying nothing for months. Not at therapy, not at home. Just a patient, measured silence that made her feel like she was screaming into a vacuum. She called the billing department. The woman on the phone was polite and firm. The counselor had documented her as requiring additional emotional support. It was within his scope. Claire hung up. Her hand shook. 20 years of marriage, and she'd become a line item. Michael walked past her without looking. She made the choice then. She'd keep going to therapy. She'd prove she was not the problem. She'd make someone hear her. The next session, she brought a notebook. She wrote down everything the counselor said. He noticed. He smiled. He asked if she trusted the process. She said yes. He told her that distrust was a symptom of deeper issues. She wrote that down too. Michael nodded along. The counselor suggested Claire explore why she felt the need to control the narrative. She left that session with a tightness in her chest that did not loosen for days. That night, Michael told her she was being paranoid. The word landed like a stone. She did not sleep. The sessions continued. Every 2 weeks, $180, sometimes more. Her insurance covered half. Michael refused to split the rest. He said it was her therapy, not his. The counselor agreed that Claire needed to take ownership of her healing. She started pulling from her savings. The account she'd kept for emergencies, the one her mother told her never to touch. By the 3rd month, it was nearly empty. She stopped buying herself clothes. She ate smaller portions. She told herself it was temporary. The counselor kept redirecting. Every complaint about Michael's silence became a question about her communication style. Every mention of feeling small became a discussion of her self-esteem issues. She started to doubt her own memory. Had Michael really said that? Had she imagined the coldness? The counselor's voice was so calm, so reasonable. Michael's posture in the sessions was so open, so willing. And she was the one with the notebook, the one tracking words like evidence. She looked crazy. She felt crazy. Her friend Diane called. Claire did not pick up. Diane texted. Claire said she was fine. She was not fine. She was losing pieces of herself in that office, in that pale blue room with the fake plant and the abstract art that meant nothing. One night, she checked their joint account. Michael had moved money, a lot of it, into an account she did not have access to. When she asked, he said it was for investments. The counselor, when she brought it up, suggested Claire examine why she felt entitled to control the finances. She stopped talking about money. She stopped talking about most things. The sessions became a performance. She said what she thought would make it end. It did not end. The bills kept coming. Her world kept shrinking. She ran into a woman at the grocery store. The woman looked familiar, and then Claire remembered. She'd seen her photo on the counselor's desk once, years ago, before it disappeared. The woman's name was Angela. She'd been married to the counselor. Past tense. They stood in the produce section, and Angela asked how Claire was doing. Claire said fine. Angela's face changed. She said, "You re-seeing him, are not you? For therapy?" Claire nodded. Angela took her hand. She said he does this. She explained it in the parking lot between their cars, while the sun set and the air turned cold. The counselor ran a side practice. He coached men. He taught them how to use therapy as a tool. How to position their wives as unstable. How to document everything. How to make it look like care. Michael had been his client for over a year before they ever sat in that room together. Claire felt the ground tilt. Angela said she had records. Emails. Billing statements that did not match the sessions. She'd kept them after the divorce. She'd been waiting for someone to ask. Claire drove home in silence. She did not confront Michael. Not yet. She went through their files. She found the charges. The double billing was not random. It was systematic. Every time she cried, every time she pushed back, the rate went up. She found a folder on Michael's laptop. It was labeled Documentation. Inside were notes, dates, quotes. Her quotes, taken out of context. A plan for custody, for the house, for everything. She sat on the floor of their bedroom and stared at the screen until her eyes burned. Michael came home. He asked what was for dinner. She said she was not hungry. He sighed. He said she was being difficult again. She did not correct him. She just sat there, holding the knowledge like a blade she did not yet know how to use. Claire stopped going to therapy. She did not explain. She just did not show up. The counselor called. She did not answer. Michael asked what was wrong. She said she was tired. It was the truth. She was tired of being rewritten. She took Angela's records and her own files to a lawyer. The lawyer was a woman in her 60s with sharp eyes and no patience for theatrics. She looked at everything. She said, "This is a case." Claire filed a complaint with the state licensing board. She found 3 other women, then 7, then 12. They'd all been through the same room, the same script, the same billing codes. The counselor's practice unraveled slowly, then all at once. The board suspended his license. The story made the local news, not because it was sensational, but because it was common. Claire filed for divorce. Michael tried to use the documentation. The judge looked at the source. The case fell apart. Claire moved into a 1-bedroom apartment in a neighborhood she'd never lived in before. The rent was cheap. The walls were thin. She could hear her neighbors fighting, laughing, living. She got a job at a women's legal aid clinic. She answered phones. She filed paperwork. She listened. One afternoon, a letter arrived. It was from a woman she'd never met. The woman thanked her, said she'd read about the case, said it gave her the courage to leave. There were more letters. Claire kept them in a box by her bed. She read them when the apartment felt too quiet. She did not have much. Her savings were gone. Her marriage was gone. But she had her name back. She had her voice. And on the days when that did not feel like enough, she opened the box and reminded herself, someone else made it out because she did first.